All right, so we've got the new AC auto amplifier in. Unfortunately, the AC still doesn't work in this car. This car has a whole slew of problems right now. So the AC auto amplifier has been replaced. It's a new part. So we know that that's good and better not catch on fire. So I've got the AC turned on, fan on, it's on low, no AC, right? The system's charged. The AC auto amplifier is new. We've tried different switch panels because we had an extra one. We've tested that IPDM module, make sure that that works to turn on the AC compressor. And another thing you want to look out for on these Nissans is the ambient air temperature. So at negative 22 degrees Fahrenheit, it's gonna think at negative 22 degrees Fahrenheit for ambient air temperature, the vehicle thinks that it's negative 22 right now. I am wearing shorts. Clearly there's no snow on the ground and I can hear some bugs. So yeah, it is not negative 22 degrees outside right now. It is about 80 degrees. So that is incorrect. This vehicle has been in a front end collision. I don't think that that's really the reason why we have this problem, but it might be part of it. The ambient air temperature sensor on these Nissans, on these Altimas, is right here under the bumper. So this connector here is for the ambient air temp sensor, and you can see there is a broken wire there. So obviously we're not getting the right signal. It's all corroded and green and fuzzy. So I do have a new connector from the junkyard because we couldn't find one at the parts stores, and a new ambient air temp, well, new to us, ambient air temp sensor. So I'm gonna go ahead and repair that first. We do also have a code for the sun load sensor. So the reason why the sun load sensor is important is because it determines the intensity of the sunlight going into the car to change how the air conditioning operates when you have it on automatic climate control. What I'm going to use is these butt connectors with heat shrink tubing on them. It's in a tight spot where I can't really get my soldering iron in there and feel comfortable with a solder job. So I'm going to go ahead and use these and then use my heat gun to shrink them down onto the wires. So we've got a nice, you know, I guess it's solderless, but it's also going to be waterproof connection when we're done. So this is my favorite tool to use for butt connectors. You just shove the wire in the end of it, and then with it pinched between that little knob there, you just squeeze as hard as you can. Squeeze it down, and then it puts an imprint on the butt connector so that it pinches the wire inside of there. That way you know that that wire is not coming out. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that to obviously my other wires in there. Get these butt connectors on, take my heat gun and heat these up so they shrink down. Get that connected and we'll see where we're at. So unfortunately, even after replacing those wires and that sensor, we still have the negative 22 display on the dash. So the next step in the diagnostic procedure is to go ahead and check that connector for power and ground. Did we fix a problem? Absolutely. Is it the only problem? Unfortunately, no. So we got to figure out what else is wrong from there. Now that we know that this connector is a good connector and it's got some wires spliced in, now we know that we can further troubleshoot this problem. So I've got one end of my meter hooked up to ground at the battery, and then the other end, if I poke it to one of these wires, it should show 5 volts if that part of the circuit is working properly. So go ahead and poke the end of it. So you can see right there, that wire does have power, which is good. And then for the ground circuit, I'm gonna go ahead and check for continuity back to ground. So I'm gonna set my meter to ohms. And of course I have that lead hooked up to battery negative. If this has a good ground, it will have continuity back to ground via the battery cable and the ground connection on the car. So go ahead and test this. And it should be a fairly low number. I'm seeing 6 ohms, so there is continuity to ground. It's possible that I have a couple of bad ambient temp sensors, so we're just gonna have to troubleshoot it from there. All right, so the next thing we should check for is the resistance of the ambient air temp sensor. This one checks out to be okay. So I've got my meter leads hooked up on the prongs of that sensor, and this one's a good sensor. I've already tried that sensor on the vehicle, and we still have the same problem. It is at 2.2 kilo ohms, which is within its normal range for 70 degrees. I'll go ahead and include a picture of that chart so that you guys can see that as well. But it's within our normal range, so our sensor's good. Our power supply and our ground supply is also good. All right, so we do now have cold air conditioning for some reason. The dash still displays -22, so I'm thinking we're gonna use the scan tool to clear the codes and go from there and see what happens. But either way, repairing that ambient air temp sensor up front did fix the air conditioning problem, so we do now have working air conditioning. The AC compressor kicks on and off like it's supposed to. I still want to chase the sun load sensor code. So the sun load sensor, I'm gonna go ahead and pop that off. Get access to that. I can just use a flathead screwdriver and pop this up. I'm gonna go ahead and test the end of the connector for power and ground. And if it has power and ground, I'm gonna go ahead and pop a different sensor in and then go ahead and clear the codes and see what happens. All right, so I've got my meter leads with some back probes hooked up to the end of the connector for the sun load sensor. With those hooked up, if it has a good power and good ground, you should see 5 volts on your meter, which I've got about 5 volts. 4.96 is pretty darn close. So that right there tells me that my circuit for my sun load sensor is good. So I'm gonna go ahead and plop a new sun load sensor in there. And then we're gonna clear the codes on this vehicle and see if anything comes back. All right, so we've got the codes cleared. The AC is still working. Obviously we're driving around. And what we've noticed is as you drive it around, after repairing that ambient air temp sensor, the temperature will start to increase and the computer will readjust its readings. So it's at -20 right now. And as you drive the vehicle, it will start to increase and readjust to the right temperature. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. Go ahead and like and subscribe for more. Thanks.